Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Note After Note podcast. I'm your host, Jason Gallardo, and I want to thank you all for tuning in today. Here on the Note After Note podcast, we talk about music, songwriting, producing, and so much more. If you are new to the podcast, I'm a singer, songwriter, producer, and musician. I've been doing music for about a year now, but I've been singing since I was just. The memories of singing with my mom in the car are one of my favorites. Overall, music is a big passion of mine, and I could talk about it for hours. Now, let's get into today's episode. Today is January 17th, 2025, and I have a special guest with me today. I have my cousin Carlee.
Hello.
This is the third episode of the podcast, and today she's going to interview me about my music.
Okay, let's start with the first question. What made you want to start doing music?
I always like seeing like artists like out on stage and stuff, so that kind of inspired me to like want to be like on stage and stuff. And just hearing how the layers of people making music and just hearing the layers of the background of music, it just made me happy, and I just wanted to do that and put that out into the world.
Okay, so I want to know, you're in choir or whatever, and I'm in band or whatever.
Yeah.
And so, if you couldn't do choir, would you do band?
I actually would do band because I really can't read sheet music, which I wish I could, and I'd be able to play like more instruments, and that would be great for producing music because I could add live instruments into my own songs. Like my song "You're a Fool," it has the trumpet solo, and if I knew how to play trumpet, I could just play it instead of using like my MIDI stuff and a piano and playing with all the notes to make sure that's fixed. So yeah, I would do band.
Trumpet players are annoying.
Really?
Yes. Oh, there's a lot of lore. Anywho, Anywho, what top 3 artists inspire you? Like, I already know you like Billie Eilish, but like, do you have any more?
Well, yes, Billie Eilish. I've been a fan since 2019, which was my 5th grade year.
Ooh.
And oh,
My bad.
but her voice is just so amazing, and the technique she uses is amazing. Another one is Phineas, her brother. Obviously, my favorite producer.
Period.
Whoa. He makes all of her music, and I love his music too. He has a great voice. And I would also say Joshua Bassett. Joshua Bassett is a good singer, and I love his older music like Lie 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 and Secret and Crisis and Sad Songs in a Hotel Room. That EP is good. I just love it. And Golden Years, I love the album. It's amazing. Yeah.
Okay, now it's time for you to ask me a couple of questions.
Okay. So you're in band, right? What instrument do you play?
Flute.
And would you ever play a different one? If so, what?
Okay, so originally I picked out flute because I thought it would be easy and I thought of Lizzo.
Oh.
And then as I was doing it, my friend Cameron, he was like, no, play trumpet. And I was like, I don't know. And so I asked the band director, and he was like, no, it's too late, you're playing flute. And so I was stuck on flute. But if I could switch an instrument, I'd choose either saxophone
Nice.
or oboe.
Oh,
I don't
cool.
know. I don't know. I think the oboe is kind of unique because it's big and long.
I know my 6th grade year, I wanted to play the saxophone because I just wanted to be a jazzy type person.
You know, the saxophone is the easiest instrument you could play.
Yeah.
So if you ever wanted to start like playing with instruments or whatever, pick the saxophone because it's easier.
Yeah. I remember like in 6th grade we had to make a choice, either choir or band, and I knew I was like, oh, band sounds so good, but like I liked choir more because I got to sing every single day. And I just been in choir since my 6th grade, and now I'm a junior, so it's very nice. Okay, so next question. So, what is your favorite artist and why?
Okay, my top three are favorite girl group Twice. Um, I really like who else do I like? Oh, I also like I like Kendrick Lamar, of course,
Love Kendrick.
and I also I don't know. I like K-pop, so
Yeah.
don't do that. But my last group would be I guess Red Velvet.
Okay, cool. Who is Red Velvet? Like, what kind of music do they make?
So
Oh.
basic. Well, I'll go through a breakdown with Twice and Red Velvet. So Twice is a 9-member girl group, and they just have like throughout their whole time releasing music, their music like changes, and I guess I don't know. But I do too know that my favorite album was Scientist, and that I do like their new release with Megan Thee Stallion, Strategy.
Oh, that's cool.
Period. And Red Velvet is a 5-member group, and like the red in Red Velvet, like means pop, and then the velvet means like R&B jazz.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah.
I
And then
wish
you
I
have
could make
Kendrick.
that.
No.
Kendrick's good.
Kendrick.
I don't really listen to Kendrick much, but when I do, I like the way he styles his music, and I like the sound effects that he puts into the background and stuff. And like the way his lyrics flow, like they're actually like bars, they're bars, and they're really good. And he's such a good lyricist, and I appreciate that about him, and I like how he writes his music.
Okay, so let me ask questions about your upcoming album, Dreams and Nightmares. It's coming out March 11th, right?
Yes.
Okay, so tell me 3 things I should expect from the album.
So there's gonna be a lot of screaming, a lot of belting in the background. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of auto tune, which a lot of people don't really like how I use that, and it's just frustrating because I'm trying to tell this certain story, like, oh hey, I don't feel safe where I am in life, and it's like everything is kind of lost and kind of mixed up, and you try to act perfect, which is kind of the thing about autotune. It's supposed to make your voice sound perfect and stuff like that. So I wanted to add that to as a symbolism kind of. And also there's going to be a lot of transitions in the album, so it's going to be like kind of fluid when you listen to it. You have to listen to the whole thing straight through, or it's going to ruin the story kind of. And there's also going to be a lot of different genres of music. I know there's like rock and stuff
You gonna do
like that.
country?
No.
No country.
No. Never. I just can't bring myself to do country like that, so.
I like certain country music.
Yeah. The only like country album I've listened to, which people don't really classify as country, and I don't really classify it as country either, is Cowboy Carter by Beyonce. I really like the album. Like the technique she uses in some of her singing in the album, like at the beginning, it's just so powerful, and just the fluidity of the album. I wanted to incorporate fluidity into my album just with the transitions and stuff. So, thank you, Beyonce.
Okay.
Yeah.
What is one word that you use to describe this album?
Um, that's a really good question. I would say a journey, like journey, or maybe life. I mean, that's kind of what all of my songs are about. It's basically my experiences and stuff. Um, Dreams have been like such a big part of my life, especially since they're so vivid. I mean, it feels like I'm actually living my dream, and I can feel things, I can smell things, and I can see in color. I can see like I can remember certain details in my dreams, like, hey, what was that dude's shirt, color of the dude's shirt that was walking by you in your dream? Like, I can remember, oh yeah, it was like this reddish, greenish kind of color. And I can remember stuff like that. Like, one of the dreams I had was a dog named Luke, and he died.
Oh.
Yeah, some reason I put him in a container
Oh,
and I took him home.
that's so
And when I
crazy.
when I opened it, he turned into sand. Yeah, I cried when I woke up. That's how like impactful my dreams are. So I really wanted to incorporate that kind of feeling with this album. Like some of these songs are based on my dreams and stuff. So yeah.
Period. Um, how is this upcoming album different than your last album, A Broken Mind?
Well, with this album, I worked harder on it
Mm-hmm.
instead of just being lazy and just being like, hey, oh, I worked 2 minutes on this song, and it's done. Um, I've actually been working on this album since July of 2023,
Mm-hmm.
which was before my first album came out.
Period.
The first song I worked on was Prison, which is track 11. No? Yes, track 11, I think. um, I don't know my track list, guys. Um, but I think it tells a deeper story with this album than the last one. The last one, it didn't really have like a set storyline. It was just like, hey, these are my experiences, and I just put them in there. It's kind of like scrambled and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Has your process been more difficult from this album than last?
Yeah, I would say so. I tried to incorporate more instruments in this album than the last. I used a lot of live guitar, um, like recording live guitar in this album. Like in Rumors, I recorded all of that. And it was hard because I am not a professional at guitar, so having to like finger pick each note for the guitar was hard to do, and then doing the chords was hard to do, and it actually really hurt, and I had to record it so many times because the timing was always off, and I got really frustrated when recording all these other songs. And then I tried to make acoustic versions because that's what people liked more and stuff like that. So yeah.
Okay, so there are 15 tracks on this album.
Yes.
What is your favorite?
I think my favorite would either be Dream Come True,
Mm-hmm.
Nice to Meet You,
Mm-hmm.
or Fallen Angel.
Period.
Those all have such good vocal elements, for one, and I just like how hard I worked on those three. And the thing about Dream Come True, I lost the file for it, so it might not be as good when the album comes out, but I'm working hard to recover that. Um, and Nice to Meet You is a good song. It's rock. And Fallen Angel, it has multiple genres in it. I don't know what genre of music I classify in, but the bridge and the ending, it's rock, and it's like I pretend that I'm okay, And I love that part. And people said I scream too much in it. But if you were in this state of hopelessness and having to mask yourself, would you be frustrated quietly? No, you would yell and like scream internally. And that's how I feel on the inside. Like, I feel like I was this happy person and I'm just constantly falling into this state of depression and sadness. So, pretending that I'm okay and I don't want to feel like sad or anything. So, I just want to portray that in my song and tell my story and stuff.
Okay, what is your least favorite track?
Hey Monster.
Oh,
I
that's
don't.
good.
I wanted to change that, but I had already released the track list and I could not change it. And I already have a transition for it. It's after Fallen Angel. So the lyrics are super cringy and I just hate it. I don't know what I was thinking, but yeah, like the rest of the album, amazing. Hey Monster, why? Um, but yeah, I don't like that track at
Uh,
all.
okay, what are some of the struggles that you had recording this album?
I had a lot of struggle with timing because sometimes my file would glitch and stuff, so it would like delay the recording like half a second, which was really frustrating. So I had to manually move it to where it was on time. And also, just you remember with Dream Come True, I lost the file, which was really frustrating because I had a lot of good vocals on it. And luckily, I had old recordings of it, like demos. And that was a big struggle because it was one of my favorite songs, and I did not want to like recreate it because there was so many layers that I had put into it, and it's hard to recreate something like that. And also, trying to live up to people's expectations, which at this point I should not be doing that because I'm honestly making music for myself and to tell my story and share it with other people. As I said before, people did not like the autotune thing. Um, People don't like that I scream as much. Um, they just have a lot of opinions, and I respect their opinions, obviously. But sometimes I just want to like create music and tell my story, and it's a lot of frustration um, when something you work so hard on is like kind of criticized. But I obviously respect all of your opinions because it helps me become a better artist and stuff. So, thank you for all of your comments. I'm gonna try to do better.
Kudos to you guys. Okay,
Yeah.
last question for today. Would you do a tour?
Yeah. I would. I would do a tour for this album. I would do a tour for the last album. But unfortunately, one, don't got money. Two, don't got a place to play it at. And yeah, I mean, I wish I could do a tour. I wish I could like sing it live for everyone. Um, but maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. Um, but yeah. Wait, was that the last question?
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is all we have for today. We could ramble all about music forever, but it has to come to an end. I want to thank you all for tuning into the third episode of the Note After Note podcast. Make sure to stream all of my music, such as You're a Fool, Rumors, and I'm Tired of This, and as well as my first album, A Broken Mind. Um, follow me on Instagram at jason.j.gallardo and follow the podcast account Note After Note. And I thank you all again for tuning in. Thank you, Carlee, for being a guest on my podcast. And what is your Instagram? Your Instagram is C1RL33_. Make sure to go follow her. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Just know, if you listen to music, note after note, it tells a story. Keep listening to music, one note at a time, and I'll catch you on the next episode. Bye now.
Bye.
I think we did good on that episode.
Yes, I'm such an amazing co-host.
Oh, okay.
Okay, buddy.